Good morning, everyone. It's an extreme pleasure to always be with you and to enjoy your company. And I, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for taking your time to view these videos and to learn and grow. It's an amazing to watch all you guys grow so well and doing so well. I hear stories how all you're helping other people and they're growing, and it's just such an honor and a fantastic experience for us to be together like this. So I do enjoy that. I was kind of meditating, and I was thinking of this because of some of the things that have come down the pike here in the last week or so, and that is when you get a diagnosis from the allopathic community, it's amazing how people latch on to that diagnosis if they had it, whether it is a mental health issue or whether it is a physical issue or an emotional issue. These diagnoses people carry under their arms. I've got this problem, and it's like these are some of the things we have to learn to let go. And I've always disliked this about the allopathic community in terms of giving you 6 months where you only have 2 months to live. And when you observe this in nursing, you notice their whole life just kind of ends. So someone was telling me this about their mother yesterday. She was a nurse and had a tumor in her breast. They gave her 2 or 3 months, and sure enough, she had it taken out. She was good, but she died in 3 months. And this, or whatever it was. And this is the problem, is that that's how soul experiences in creation. It becomes that which it wants to experience. It can't literally become, as an infinite being, you can't literally become finite, but you can use bodies that are made of the same material, that particular dimension, whether it's physical world, the astral emotional world. Your fabric of your body comes out of the dust, so to speak, of that world, of that level. And so as you see, the physical body is made of physical matter. And as you go on, your other bodies are much finer, much more, your powers are much greater, your awareness to see and know is much greater. So we become the experience we want to know. And we've talked about this in movies where you get a really good movie. Some of these directors are so good that their movie is so good you forget you're actually external from the movie. You forget you're just sitting there watching it. You absorb and become the movie. I find myself riding like this and fighting like this, and I'm going, because, and that's why I don't watch movies and stuff, because it's so easy to become that other drama, and I don't want to become any more dramas. That it's easy to do that, and so many people have worlds within worlds, and you get so strung out you lose who you are. And so this is true when you're diagnosed with things. You can take that on, and as soul you have to learn to back up and not take that on. That's somebody's opinion, somebody's idea, and you don't want to live in that world. And so if you're diagnosed with something, tear it up and throw it away and know what really is going on there. And you guys are getting really good at that. It's amazing how good you guys are. I mean, you guys are rattling off stuff that no medical doctor even knows. You're rattling it off. You know where the problem is, and I just love you guys. This is a shout out to Cindy Phoenix, RN, CEN. Thank you, dear. I appreciate your support a great deal. You know what? People that know me know that we really go that extra mile no matter what. We are in it for the long haul. We're not here to rake anybody or hurt anybody or with any of these things. But when you're in the healing arts, you're going to find a lot, and you guys are running against people that have very chronic problems. So if you have to pick up a gland, you're a big deal. You know, if I was thinking about this the other day, people are so worried about animals. What about plants? I'm a plant lover, and if I have to hurt one of my plants, it's like, oh God. And I know plants so well that if I plant a plant somewhere, it'll tell me right away whether it likes it or not. If it doesn't like it, I have to actually redig it up and move it somewhere else because it won't grow. It won't grow, it won't be happy, and it could die. So I try to get a feeling of where these plants want to be before I even put them in the ground. But, you know, if you're worried about killing things, what about plants? You kill them. So you've got to look at this totally from a spiritual viewpoint in creation and realize what reality is and what non-reality is. And we're so enmeshed in the drama. It's like a movie's so good we think the movie's real. And that's where some of these kids, I remember there was a young man, I don't know if it was the Columbine or whatever it was, who was shot. And he was being pulled away hauled away to the stretcher, and this kid was going, I didn't know it would hurt. He saw so many movies of people getting shot and killed and all this. He didn't think it would hurt. And he was in a lot of pain from the bullet. So these are some of the illusions. We as soul, we're so omnipresent, yet when we have to look through the bodies, we become very finite and we take on these roles and make them real. And we have to learn how to make these roles unreal and just what they are, the movie, the drama. And you're the one that sets it up. You're the one that puts the reel on the projector and, you know, sets up all the situation by your desires, your wants, your loves, your hates, how you view yourself. Everything is involved in the process of how you create. So you guys are doing real well, and I want to get to some of these questions here. There's been a tiff and taff about the cost of herbs and stuff that's going on. I appreciate this too. SCOR Scorpius, SCORPIUS 662. I love you, man. I appreciate that. You know, it's just these people just don't get it. And, you know, when you're in business, the trouble with our businesses, we're you know, there's so many businesses ripping people off. And I think that's, you know, we live in a world of that. So it's kind of hard for people to understand what business is all about, especially small businesses, you know, where you're struggling with all these high prices of everything. Shipping is a killer. It's just a killer. Not only for you guys, it's a killer for us. We have to pay for all the herbs to be shipped to us. I mean, we have major shipping costs. So it's just hard to explain how much is involved to be able to offer things to people, just in their simplest of form. We're playing with this little handheld iris camera. I'll show that to you tomorrow. This guy still got several of them. You might be able to get a good deal on them. About $500. You might be able to negotiate with him, but they're handheld iris cameras, and you can hook them to your computer and take pictures. And so I've had it for years. We're just playing with it. And anyway, thank you all for your support and help and love. Gets me. So I appreciate it a lot. I have a feeling some of these herbs could help my son, and I have major bloating in my stomach and a constant nausea. My eyesight is fading, low energy, depression, trouble with focusing my mind. My child has a mood disorder, is lazy, has eczema and ADHD. I am willing to purchase proper herbal remedies if they can eventually heal us. Well, you want to get why they're here to help you. I don't want you to trust in what we say. I want you to really learn what is at the core of what makes these problems. And so, and not, it's okay to trust us. I appreciate that. But my gig is education and learning and really looking at this so you're educated, you're knowledged, and no one can take that away from you. That's the problem. A lot of people read so many books they become like a leaf blowing in the wind. One lady was in here, a very avid health person, very well read, but she was confused, totally confused, because this book says this book says that. And I said, all right, let's take this smoke screen away and let's look at simplicity. Because first must come simplicity and then intellectualism. Simplicity will give you the overview and then you can tear it apart. But get that overview and foundation first, and then you can tear it apart, because it's like drinking water and all these concepts. Well, here's an individual lady that can't drink a lot of water or she's going to get real bloated up. Highly acidic. This is the bloating here can be from sulfa drugs and a lot of sulfur in the bowel wall. Look at your eyes in a mirror, or get a magnifying glass. See if you have orange around the pupil. That's bloaty. Interstitial. Lymphatic constipation. Remember when the lymph system backs up in the wall, and we were just looking at a case like that, where a lot of sulfur and bloaty and fat and just fighting that. Malabsorption. And this is where these things come in. So you want to get this lymph moving. That's what causes bloaty stuff. This isn't the blood causing this. This is the second major fluid of the human body, which obviously dominates the blood. And so very important lymphatically. And if this is your son, then with the mood disorder, is lazy, has eczema and ADHD, let's look at this. This is all adrenal glands. He doesn't have a lot of energy to him. He's neurologically compromised. That's the adrenal glands. He could have had the vaccinations of a neurotoxin like thimerosal or something. A lot of neurotoxins in our society could have thrown him over the top here. So real important to get your son as adrenals up, his kidneys up. He's going to have lymphatic problems. The proof of that is the eczema. So it shows you that, one, the adrenals are low. Of course, on the younger people, we've been talking a lot about this, how low these adrenal glands are, and it's just real scary what these young people are having to deal with. I just feel so sorry for our younger people having to deal with all these problems. They haven't had, there's a lot of sick kids at 20 to 30 years old, and they're not having fun in their youth. So your son's got eczema is your body's third kidney, meaning his two main kidneys aren't filtering well. Well, here's ADHD, go right to the adrenals and the autonomic nervous system. So you want to get the adrenals up. You can give him the new brain and nerve formula. Lazy could just be very weak adrenals and thyroid, and just translating into laziness. He doesn't have any ambition, any energy, doesn't know desire, doesn't like himself. That'd be thyroid, parathyroid. So you want to look at these things. Going back to you, the stomach, bowels here, the eyesight is fading. This is all lymph, depression, parathyroid. So you're looking at the sun with that, low energy. There's your adrenal glands. So I'm looking at your sun with that. Trouble with focusing the mind. So go by detoxing that body, getting that lymph system moving. Use that brain and nerve formula. Pop that nervous system up. I'm doing a lot more with the brain and nerve formula because everybody's nervous systems are down. So now we're adding that to our standard protocol because I think that's key. Now that we're learning more about, your neurological diabetes, the fact that the nervous system is controlling everything anyway, we've kind of left that to the side, not realizing a lot of suppression can be a neurological suppression. Well, when we get to the nervous system, who controls that system? And autonomic is the adrenals, central nervous system is the brain. So it always helps to move the lymph in the body, get these acids out, get your adrenals and kidneys up to do that, because you can't move it without that. Clean up the bowels and start that process. So the same with you, sweetheart. You want to really get that, get your lymph system moving, get your kidneys and adrenals up, and the same for your son. Same thing there. And you'll all get better, and you'll pull yourself out of that. I don't know if there's anyone like me in the Boston area. You could call any of you guys from the Boston area that can help this lady. By all means, you can put this on YouTube. This is Call Rachel, or just Rachel. You can call here, and one of the staff will help you, set you up on a protocol or something for that. But when you're buying product, you want to buy it specifically for what you're going after. That's why these supplements, throw them away. You want tissue-specific herbs. They got all your nutrition. They got all your aminos. They got all your C's and your B's and your flavonoids. They got all of that. What it does have that nothing else has is tissue-specific power. The power to inspire performance from tissue. And I love that. Oh, yeah, this is my friend, SCORPIUS 662, bro. Hey, man. Oh, you're talking to this guy? Yeah. I wanted to use that word, too, but I tried to have some restraint because, people just don't get it. We're trying our ever most best here. I have questions about my young sons. This is again, call Rachel again, another part of that. Just remember that the youth of today have very serious adrenal and kidney problems. Very serious. In school, I'm going to have blood reports for you. We're going to go over and I'm going to teach you how to read blood reports. We're going to really get more. This class is going to be a lot more about you as a practitioner. Now, even though that if you might come, you might not want to be a practitioner, it is very valuable for you anyway. But I want to get more in this class. So many of you are getting fed a lot here that I want to really turn this to more practitioners and what you'd be doing and involved and how to read blood work and how to take blood pressures and stuff. That's going to be trippy with so many people in terms of blood pressures, but we'll see how we work on that side of it. But definitely blood workup, we need to learn how to look at that and the kidney function and things, so I'll give you a lot of insights with that. Maybe we'll do a whole day of virology this time. Generally, I like to cut through the chase. I'm one of those guys that just cuts off the fat of things. Why waste our time? I have no time in my life, zero. So whenever I can cut the fat off of something, let me do it. No sense wasting time on things that are frivolous. Who else uses the word frivolous? Anybody know? The IRS. They love to use the word frivolous against us, when in reality, they're the ones that are frivolous. Those are the ones that are doing the do here. So I just talked to a YouTuber who had a lot of trouble with the IRS. Poor thing, they're ripping her off bad. It's like, you guys will see why I'm fighting that fight too. Oh, this is neat. URNEMESIS. Your nemesis. 108. Dr. Morse, don't let the trolls off. Thanks, man. I appreciate your thought on that. And that's the way I am. You eat your algae, you do whatever you want, a glandular if you need it. You don't sweat the big stuff. Don't freak out. These are bodies. This is a physical world. This actually has very little reality to it. It's whatever reality you make it. And sometimes we get into these areas and we just, we weird out on things that maybe we shouldn't have in the moment, or we go through ups and downs, and detox has it that way. Some days you're just not in good mood, and sometimes you lay that on others around you. But we're all here in a love bond, and I want to keep that. Obviously, I'm not here to hurt anybody in any way, shape, or form. We want everybody to get well. We really want the world to get well, both in consciousness and in their bodies. So this is a process where we all need to work together, and I think we're doing a really good job of it. I really do. I'm proud of each and every one of you guys. Thank you, MXIPTIX. Thank you. I love you too, dear one. Thank you. Thanks. This is One Diva 3SI. Thank you very much for that. I want to read this more. This is about donations and stuff. Thanks for that. Yeah, exactly. This is a good one from White Wolf, and I love your name, White Wolf 1088. That's a beautiful name, man, White Wolf. And I like this. There is no wrong path, and that's the thing. I sometimes even find myself using that word. In reality, there is nothing. It just is. And I think a lot of these higher souls, you guys are definitely, you younger people are definitely higher souls. We all are on this channel. You would not be able to recognize this level if you weren't more of an awakened soul in yourself, and you might not realize that. I know a lot of people are a lot more aware than they give their... Yeah, thanks for all that, guys. I love your comments here and appreciate all your help, all of you guys here. I think you get a good sense that we're all about loving each other and helping each other. And, I don't think any of us want to really lead anyone astray. We just want everybody to get well. And that's my only reason here, spiritually the most. And I'll do more spiritual videos. Sometimes it's, I'm just trying to intertwine that with this message here, so it's kind of all fit together instead of doing separate. Because sometimes I'm like White Wolf here. It's like there's just nothing to say. It just is. And I always go by the premise of stop thinking, stop talking, and there's nothing you won't know. And I just love that. Phoebe Quantz told me that years ago. Stop thinking, stop talking, and there's nothing you won't know. And it is so true, is that if we just start relaxing and get off of these little journeys and just start spending time in the now and with yourself and just observing things, the response and the growth is so much more tremendous. But you'll reach a certain stage. When I first got into looking at the heavens as opposed to looking so much in the physical world, and again, it's all about your focus. You change your focus, you start seeing more of something new that you weren't looking at before. And it's the same thing with God. You just start looking at and thinking more, how was the heavens designed? How was creation designed? You start putting more attention on more etheric things as opposed to more physical things. And that's all it is. And then after you start moving your attention around from one writing to another, other beings that have made these journeys and written about them, as you start looking at that, you must start taking on the journey yourself, like what we talked about wearing the robe here. It's enough to learn about your lymph and learn about your blood, and you learn about detox and all that. It's another to strap on that robe, as you're finding. So many of you started strapping on the robe. You were a little scared, but you put that robe on, and now you're busting down the road. And so many of you that were in pain are out of pain now. I'm just so proud of you guys. You hung in there. You rode the storm. And so that makes fantastic healers. And that makes a knowledge and an awareness that you can't pay for or trade. You don't have to go reading a bunch of books. I'm cutting that out of your life to where you don't have to spend all that time. And now you're freed up to be and to heal people simplistically, and you get to keep your life. If not, you get trapped in the workings of the mind. Confusion can set in, and we've seen some on YouTube, haven't we, where confusion set in. We thought they were going to take off and be powerful healers, but they started reading. They started getting out, the mind started kicking in and using the but word. And the but word is not a word you use when you're living in the now. These are not words you use in the now. You're in the now, and it just is. There's nothing else. It just is. And it's hard to get ourselves out of the thinking processes of the mind because our academic focus on this planet is more mental than it is spiritual. And in the inner worlds, or some of the God worlds, your focus is spiritual, then the particular art of that level you're at. So it's just a little different. Thanks so much, all of you guys, from White Wolf to Lambie Poo Vegan. I like that one. Our Observer X10. Thank you all for your love and support here. I appreciate that. We get some people sometimes that just get a little out of balance and they just go over a little bit. This is just from one person rambling on, and so I have to run there. So I think that I have to spend several hours with you this week. I've been so busy. We've had different things going on. Here's a panic disorder here. My husband suffers from panic disorder. He's been dealing with this for almost 20 years now. Wow. Right now he is on medication to control it, of course. That's the adrenal glands. You could have neurotoxins involved. There's some good questions in here. I can't wait to get into your questions here. This looks like I can feel it already. Woo, you guys are hot. Woo! This man, go after his adrenal glands, detoxify him in case he has neurotoxins, suppressing his adrenals and his nervous system anymore, which makes for more panic attacks. So you really want to get that body detoxed of neurotoxins, get the adrenals up. That's where the autonomic, clean up the gut. The autonomic's hooked to the bowel, the stomach here, and the solar plexus, that xiphoid process. All of this is the autonomic. Clean that out, clean your bowels out, and your husband should be good, and work that right out of him, because he's on a no-brainer path using these medications for that. Suffer from vertigo attacks. Okay, vertigo attacks. That's right here in the cerebellum. The cerebellum gives you the vertigo, the dizziness when you get up too fast, the equilibrium problems. So what that says is that his lymph system is backed up into his head area. Might have his tonsils removed or might not. Makes it worse without the tonsils, of course. It's a form of lymphedema. But right up in this area, in the head area, and dizzy. There you go, dizzy spells. So he's got to get those kidneys and adrenals. His adrenals are so down, his kidneys aren't filtering the lymph system. The lymph system's backing up, and my guess he's got some tight necks and shoulders sometimes. Sleep is pivotal for him, but he doesn't often get enough. So we're up here. It wouldn't be a stretch to say we're all here. And then, of course, there's the pineal gland where you're supposed to rest. So you can use a pineal glandular, but if we go to melatonin, see, here's the difference in this way. If we use melatonin, then you'll lose your pineal gland. But if we use a pineal glandular, you will pop that pineal up. And if not, I don't know what herbs. We don't know what all the herbs are for and which herbs are for glands. We do know the berries are definitely all the glands, but specific, there's a lot of things we don't know there. Is there anything? Yes, there's a lot we can do there, my dear. This is Mini-Mo Mist. They can be a tongue twister here. Mini-Mo Mist. But absolutely, definitely fix your man up there, dear one. Get his lymph system cleaned up. That means getting into when I say clean up the lymph system, kidneys and adrenals. Always at the core of that with the lymph formulas. Clean up the GI tract. If you just do that, you have a lot. But he's got stuff going on up in here. So you got to clean the bowels and everything to drain the brain out. This will get the lymph out, to get the inflammation out, the acids out, and then everything will restore. His dizziness and equilibrium will go away. He will get strong. His panic attacks will leave him, and he's in good shape. So that's a way you can go with that one. So thank you so much. I could go crazy here. So I got to run now, but I will see you soon. And you all have a beautiful day and enjoy the ever-presence of the Supreme Being. And I love you all. Bye-bye.